Alright, good morning. I'm going to try to do a little test videos with my iPhone and this little tripod. Seems like it's kind of waving a little bit. This floor isn't the most sturdiest floor, it's just an old shed. We'll do some time lapse of what it takes to clean about 30 iguana cages in such a small area. I'm also testing out the mic from that far. And hopefully you guys can hear me. I'm getting a camera soon, next month or so, and maybe we can do a little bit more testing and better videos, because I'm really interested. I want to share with y'all everything that I do with my iguanas. I do breed I do handle and just deal with strictly iguanas, and hopefully in the future you'll be able to see all the different localities and stuff that I'll have built up. I've just always had a great passion for the iguana species and all the color morphs and the new areas that we're going with all that, and then just them large amount of locality iguanas that aren't necessarily a color morph with different looks, colors, patterns, and sizes. And so right now I'm going to be working on, I'll just do a time lapse and see how that pans out. And I might post this, I might not, just test run to look at. You guys can hear me all the way from here and how bad this camera shakes. I'll be able to edit it a little bit. So I gotta do this 2-3 times a week. Really, I wish I could do it more, but right now I'm working with what I got. So let's see how this works out for us. So I had to take a time out to pet Buddy. He came up to the cage and he wants out. He wants attention, no doubt about it. He'll follow you around. Now, I didn't do a whole lot of training with him. I waited for him to be ready for me. I didn't, with so many iguanas, I don't like to force a lot of handling. I let them get to about a year, 18 months, and I'm there, I'm feeding them, I'm cleaning their cages, and then, you know, now I still have one that's about 18 months to 2 years that has nothing to do with me, and I'll take a photo of him, or some video of him later. He's not nice. But this one and my females and some, you know, they start to learn to tolerate you, and but he actually he'll come to me. You know, he follows me around until I get him out because he wants to be petted and loved on. I think he's using me to try to get some of that skin off. I know after a meal he's like, you're gonna need to pick me up so I can clean his face, you know. But this is Buddy. He's somewhere between 2 and 3. He was small when I got him. I haven't had him 18 months yet. But growth rate in iguanas, depending on where they come from, how they were raised up, what they were fed, how much sun they got, you know, in the pet store they can be as old as a year old but still look really small. So it's tough to pinpoint it, but this guy did hit just a growth rate from when I got him to now. And he wasn't friendly at first. He didn't want nothing to do with me. He swat his tail. But, you know, just showing and giving him space. I'm having to kneel down. Just giving him space and let him get used to me. And he realized I'm not going to eat him. He doesn't mind me. He likes being picked up, and he's a cool, really, he's my best iguana. You know, and this is just a red iguana. I guess you would say super red because he's all red, but I don't think that's what we're doing, is that we're going to try to work with the genetics and see exactly what's super red, what's red, with green bellies, not green bellies, And so I just wanted to stop and show you Buddy. Let's go back to time lapse. I remember I was saying that not all iguanas are gonna start liking you right away. Forgive me, I'm sweating. It's probably about 95 in here, even though it's 65 degrees outside. I have no additional heat. This is just the heat lamps inside of an insulated box. It can get it pretty warm in here. But this, I haven't named him. He's usually considered grumpy butt or a couple other choice words that I don't care to say on YouTube. But this is my double het albino, meaning that he's 100% het Colombian albino and 100% het El Salvador albino. And he was part of a proving project, when they discovered that there is two different albinos. And here we go, here we have this guy. So what it means is that if I had an albino and I wasn't sure what it was, and it's female, I can breed it to him and I'm guaranteed to get at least, I think it's 50% albino. So I just wanted to show you his temperament. He doesn't trust me yet. I'm still giving him space. I'm not trying to force it. I have had to get him out and take him a bath and clip his nails and make sure he's shedding and things of that nature. It's just I don't want to keep forcing myself onto him, because the more I do it, he doesn't like it. And right now it's prime breeding season, so I can't really do much other than clean his water and make sure he has food and clean his cage. And even then it gets kind of risky. Very aggressive, and it's just some iguanas. Some iguanas just won't tame up. Now I've seen remarkable work done with other people who have time to take care of one iguana, and they nurture and they build trust. There's the cat method. There's a little bit of fruit treats and stuff like that. But more or less all I want to do is make him comfortable enough so I can get in and out of his cage. I still believe there's, he's still young. It is breeding season, so the more I get, but I'm just giving him space. I'm not trying to force it, because he will hurt himself trying to get away from me, or he'll hurt me. And even though iguanas are herbivores, they have just a really bad, nasty bite, and they do a crocodile death roll, alligator death roll on you. So you don't want to be missing parts of your fingers, if not a whole finger. He's not quite big enough. He wouldn't take my whole finger, but he'd take most of the meat on it. And the tail. That tail is, Indiana Jones ain't got nothing on the iguana tail. You always want to make sure, almost like wrangling alligators, that there's something between you and that tail. With alligators, it's you and the mouth, but with the iguana here, it's you and the tail. Let's see if I can get a close-up of him. I guess I can't zoom. Sorry for the shakiness. It's a cheap little tripod. I can't zoom. But see, he's flared. He does not want me to break the plane of this door. If I can try to, a little bit of hissing, it tells me to just leave him alone. I'm just showing y'all that he's fair. Out of all the iguanas, he's the only one. So I have 28 iguanas, half of those being yearlings from 2018 hatch, and it's November. Actually, it's the first day of December. Christmas is right around the corner. That's great. But here we are, and I just, not really sure what I'm doing here. I'm just taking a video, and I'll clip and cut and try to post it and see if I can get at least 30 views. All the rest of them tolerate me coming in and out, except for the babies. I had the same clutch, and I divided those into two, ones that grew fast and ones that didn't. And the smaller ones that are staying small are very frantic. The nervous head twitching, and they're going around. That's extreme hide mode, extreme run mode, and I try not to mess with them, because they're going to hit their face and face bash. He's not there. He's letting me know, I don't want nothing to do with you, dude. If you ain't got food, but go get. Now I try to move in a larger cage. I do have a larger cage available. I wasn't thinking, and it being breeding season, that cage there is empty, but I have an open screen to the next cage beside it. So the male iguana in there and him, they literally were trying to kill each other through the chicken wire. So I didn't want that. So I had to move him back in here, and he'll be fine. But I think maybe once I get him in a bigger cage, not a huge room. Sometimes when you give an iguana too much room, they claim all of that as their territory, and you can't get as close as you can as if they're in a cage that's secure, and they kind of get used to that and allow you in. It's just my experience. It's not, I don't know, facts or law, or everybody has different experiences. I just share what I do with my iguanas. So let's go. I'm done with the vacuuming out and getting the water out of each cage. Now it's time to go and put the water back in the cage. Back to time lapse. All right, let's take a minute to talk about the snow projects and why an iguana would cost $25,000. All right, so I started off with what I thought was 100% het Colombian albino male. So that's this guy here, Casanova. Now I have trusted that the guy who sold me this animal was honest, and so I've bred him. So he's 100% albino, Colombian albino, 100% het. So I trust that, and any babies that he has with another female iguana will be 50% het. So this is a long route. You can do this with visuals, and it's a little shorter. Not really, if you do the numbers. It's about the same time. So anyway, I've had him for 3 years, and I just got him to breed. It was last year. So 2016, I had a clutch, and I bred him with a blue female. So I'll put him back. And they're still a little cranky. Like I said, this is breeding season. And I'll try to get this video, but there's not a lot of gaps. And so, this is my blue female. So I bred him with a little blue girl here. I just call her little blue girl. And she's very pretty. I got her, she was probably about 2 years old. And she was a little rough shape when I got her. And she was fat, but fingers are gnarled, and she come from up north somewhere, I don't know, maybe Washington. And so humidity was a problem. So she had a lot of bad sheds that affected her toes and fingers and her spines, But once I got them to breed, which took 2 years, and I ended up with, she laid 2 viable eggs. 2. Everybody else was laying 30, close to 40. So, then that's 2 years in the making with 2 eggs, and those hatchlings were going to be 100% het blue, 50% het albino. Let me grab the one of them. If you saw one of my videos, one of those blues had like scoliosis, the curled tail, the gnarled toes and stuff. And I wasn't able. I decided not to keep that one alive. It was deformed and not something I wanted passed on. It just wanted to live the very quality of life. Its spine was curved. It would have had issues with using the bathroom and getting around and moving. It just wasn't right to keep him alive, or her. So now it came out blue. So what that means is my 100% het albino male was also 100% het blue. And that's cool. That means this guy was also a part of somebody else's snow project, or forgot to relay that to the other. These iguanas get passed back and forth to several people, so it's kind of hard keep track of that. But what we have is word of mouth. We have our honor, and that's one thing we want to try to keep intact. That's why we want to be honest with each other. What genes are we using, where did it come from, and things of that nature. I don't know if you can see if it pick up. So, and he has dark eyes, and that's a Colombian. I'm trying to come up with the words. Locality. That's the Colombian locality. If you get pure Colombian iguanas, they have the dark eyes. So that's how he ended up, or she ended up with dark eyes. You see that? A little darker than your flukers or your pet store blues. And he's a little dark right now. He doesn't, he's still young, a little afraid, but he's not, surprisingly enough, he's not as skittish as my other ones. So now he is 50% het Colombian albino and a visual blue. Now if this is a female, I can breed it back to the father, and it's not bad. We've been doing it for tens of thousands of years with dogs and other domesticated animals, as long as you don't do it too much. You do want to introduce new genes in the gene pool from time to time, but if this happens to be a female, I can breed it back to the father, and as long as he is 100% het albino and we prove that he's blue, we will be able to have chances of the snow. So this now is almost this little animal here. I've noticed the blues don't really grow that fast, especially if they have albino and stuff. They're not as big as my other greens, and so that it's a little small. So he's about 5 months old. This is ones that was born. It was about 3 weeks after Father's Day of 2018. So here we have now, at 2.5 years, going on almost 3 years, I gotta grow this guy up, which I won't be able to do like I can a green or a red. Green or red, I can grow them at 18 months. They'll lay eggs without a partner. The female will be grab it and lay a bunch of slugs. Not always, not always. So another 2 years before I can even breed this, and that's if this one's a female. I'll breed it back to the father. Some people will say it's not good. I think I'll be alright. The genes are far apart. I don't have anybody related. My breeding groups that I have right now, I've gotten from different sources, different parts of the country, and aren't closely related at all. So I should be alright. So here we are. This little gem right here, and I got lots of pictures on Instagram, by the way. Please follow me on Instagram. I post a lot of pictures on Instagram. So if you look through my past posts on Instagram, I have a lot of really cool pictures of albino blues, reds, hypo reds, things of that nature. So 2 more years. So that's 5 years to get into breeding. Well, it takes about 3 months to 4 months to lay eggs, and then another 3 to 4 months to hatch those eggs. Wow, man, we're looking 6 years if I'm lucky, because the chances are, if I have 100% het albino and 100% het blue, and I breed those two together, 1 in 16. And that does not mean if I have 20 eggs, one of them is going to be, that doesn't mean one of them is going to be snow, white. It's just each egg has 1 in 16 chance. And I broke it down, it's like 6%. So you have a 6% chance of each egg being a snow. So we're looking 6, 7, you don't get it the first year, 8 years. And so that's why you get a white iguana and it's $25,000. Now, if I get a snow, first of all, I'm not going to sell it right away. I want to watch it grow and look and see what it looks like at 18 months to 2 years. I haven't seen too many of those. If you Singapore, Indonesia, Malaysia, and Vietnam, those guys have been working with that project for quite a few years, but I still haven't seen a big white one yet. There's still young ones out there. We had one, they hatched them out in 2016, and it was strange because it went from 15 to 20 to $25,000. And then hets, I mean, if you had a visual blue who was het for albino, it was $5,000. That's a lot of money. So, too rich for my blood. So like I said, if I have them and I start breeding them and they're not going to be $25,000, I just think that's a little steep for a lot of people. I do this so people can enjoy the large, you know, a lot of colors that we're going to be able to have in iguanas. Iguanas can be really cool pets. I mean, they're not hamsters, they're not a bunny rabbit, they're not your cuddly little mammals. They are reptiles and should be treated as such. I wouldn't lay in bed with mine and cuddle and fall asleep with it next to my ear. Even though Buddy, as you see, comes to me and enjoys my company. Not all are like that, and I think he's pooping on me. So he loves me. He's showing me love with the little bit of poop he just pooped on my pinky. I appreciate that, little buddy. Maybe I'll just call him Stinker. But as you can see, he is this, you know, because of the locality of the Colombian with the dark eyes, and the mother's also not a fluker's farm or some of your normal blues that you see in the pet trade mass production blues. This is a little different. The females are a little richer and the pattern's off. So where that locality, oh. Okay, now he's saying, you know what, I'm done. I want you to put me back. Thank you for sharing that love with me. But there you go. That's three years right here. Another 2 years to get him bred to a breeding size, and hopefully it's a girl. But I will have hopefully a better clutch this year. I've isolated because he was in with the reds last year, and I got a bunch of het reds, het albino, het blues, and stuff that I showed you in other videos. So here we go. And so wish me luck with this year's clutch. Hopefully I have a bunch, and I will sell these. A lot of the blues are just really pretty with the dark eyes, and I haven't really, I think it should be a little bit more than what you see on the Fluker farms and the regular blues. If you have any ideas what you'd be willing to pay, I would love to see it in the comments. Help me out here. I thank you so much. I have 63 people following me on YouTube. I've had some videos hit, you know, up to 17,000 views. I don't expect this one to, because it's going to be a long video. I'm just sharing with you my experiences and what I do with iguanas, because it really is a lot of fun for me. And, you know, there's a lot of little things. I'm learning a lot, you know. I'm learning a lot of stuff what not to do. I have listened to other people who've been breeding iguanas and trying my own thing. Nothing so detrimental that I'm putting this in harm's way. But this is just an obsession, you know. And if anybody knows anything about obsessions, there's good ones and bad ones, and this is about as good as they come. You know, it keeps me at the house, keeps me around my family, and it keeps my, but this is, you know, when you have something as cool as this and you say, you know, you help make that happen, there's a lot of love involved in that. So thank you guys for watching. Please like, share if you like, ask questions. I'll do as many videos as you guys would like. If you have, let's get interactive with this. I'll be getting a new camera here after Christmas. I'm buying the place I'm living in now, so I'll be building a bigger shed, a bigger facility to house more iguanas, and start getting localities and different localities. There are some very expensive localities, and but I will specialize in iguanas and hopefully bring a lot of color to the iguana world and help bring the price down a little bit, you know, and so everybody can enjoy them. This is not a first pet, you know. I think we've all started to realize that it's not a beginner pet, but young people can have them as long as they have parents who are interested and will help them care for these guys. And we need to understand them. We need to be able to understand that they kind of need space and chill out. And Nerd, here's a shout out to you, man. The videos that you've put out, your little series with once you get in your pet and help understanding what's going through the pet's mind, because they do have a brain and they do think, and I think that will that video the series you did will help out so many people. I think help understand it. This is not a toy. It's not something you unwrap and get all crazy excited about and play with for the first day. Because you're absolutely right. He's absolutely right with the concept. He just went through a traumatic experience. He got put into a dark box and shipped God knows where, and then all of a sudden, boom, everything he knows has changed. And he's aware of that. All animals are aware of that. And so some handle it better than others, but giving them space and stuff. And I just, if you guys can go and, New England Reptile Distributor, if you look up their videos and find that series, you'll help yourself, you'll help the animals, and it'll help us all grow with this, because it's not dying, and we're just going to keep doing this and enjoying ourselves, because it's a lot of love, this. So alright, thank you guys so much, and I'll catch you later.